How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Week in YouTube Finance. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a great week. Here's a fist bump for you. Wapow. All right, let's get into it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. Today we're diving into one of the craziest economic domino effects playing out right now. Airline stocks are tanking, government travel is collapsing, and Washington, D.C. is facing job losses at a level we haven't seen since the Great Recession. So what is going on? What's happening? Well, buckle up because this is all part of a much bigger story. It's a massive spending shift that could have global implications. Let's break it down. So at the time of this recording, you can see that airline stocks are getting absolutely decimated. We have United Airlines here, we have Delta Airlines here, JetBlue Airlines here, and American Airlines here. And you can see all their stocks are getting crushed. Why is that? Well, it all started on February 19th when United Airlines CEO sounded the alarm. He said that government-related travel has fallen off dramatically since January 20th, coincidentally the day that President Trump was inaugurated. Historically, United Airlines brings in over $1 billion per year from government-related travel alone. That is a huge chunk of revenue, and when that disappears, it sends shockwaves through the entire airline industry. Just weeks later, on March 11th, Delta Airlines revised its earnings outlooks downward, so revenue growth projections dropped from 8% to just 3.5%, which we can see right here. Margins took a hit, earnings per share were slashed in half, and boom, the stock took a nosedive. American Airlines followed shortly after, cutting its own outlook. They now expect a net loss of 60 to 80 cents per share for quarter one. You can see that right here where my cursor is. And more importantly, they adjusted their flight capacity in the Washington, D.C. area, one of their most profitable regions, because of the collapse in government-related bookings. So just from this, we can already see major trends forming. Government spending is drying up, and businesses that relied on it are scrambling to adjust. So here's the snippet from American saying they adjusted its capacity in the Washington area. It's been one of its most profitable markets as a result of weakness in government-related bookings. If you take a look at Delta Airlines stock, you can see the Trump inauguration here. You can see the DOGE cuts ramping up here in February. You can see United says government travel's down 50% on here, February 20th. And then Delta cuts guidance over here on March 7th or 8th, wherever this red arrow is pointing. Now, if we move forward, airlines are not the only thing that we should be talking about, guys. The real canary in the coal mine are jobless claims in Washington, D.C. Okay, so with all that being said, what does this mean for you? Well, if you're invested in industries that rely heavily on government spending, airlines, infrastructure, those kinds of things, you need to pay close attention. The rules of the game are changing. And for everyone else, this is just a reminder that government spending has played a massive role in propping up the economy. So if that changes, we could be in for a serious reset. So what do you think? Is this just a temporary adjustment, or are we witnessing a major shift in the economy? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, share this video with a friend. They take a lot of time and effort to put together. And if you found it useful, send it to 3 friends or family members right now. Start a WhatsApp group. Just call it the Marco Whiteboard Finance Channel WhatsApp group and just let your buddies know when I drop these bangers, okay? So if you're interested in business, finance, the economy, macro, all that stuff, you know I cover all that on my channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a prosperous day. I need to get me a government job. 34% GDP. Are you serious?
All right, let's check in with Mr. Graham now. Let's see what he's got to say.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I'm going to be honest, this is one of the craziest markets that I've ever witnessed. Normally, I tend not to be too outspoken about my own thoughts since I'd like to think the data speaks for itself, but never have I seen such an intense back and forth of economic turmoil while the entire market crashes within minutes of a single remark. And if you thought things were getting messy, as it turns out, this is just the very beginning. In just the last week, we've seen tariff retaliation, stock indexes falling into correction territory, concerns concerns of an upcoming recession, and most recently, as of a few hours ago, we've received some choice words from the Federal Reserve as to what they think is going to happen over the next year, which is probably not what you're expecting. This is why we absolutely have to cover exactly what's happening, what Jerome Powell just said, when they're planning to lower interest rates, and then most importantly, how this is about to affect all things money. Because without exaggeration, this is one of the most important meetings of the entire year, and if you want to come out ahead profitable, keep watching. Although before we start, if you appreciate the last minute breaking news videos, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't done that already. I know it sounds silly to ask, but it actually does help out tremendously, and as a thank you for doing that, I'll do my best to read and reply to as many comments as I can. So thanks so much, and also a big thank you to Cook Unity for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Sure, it's going to be a bumpy ride in the process, but welcome to the entire economy, where there's always something to worry about. That's why I'm just continuing to dollar cost average into the markets on a regular basis, regardless of where it trades. I bet we probably see 2 small rate cuts at some point this year, and if you're getting spooked by all the volatility, it's probably best just don't check, stick with the plan as normal, and no matter what, smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Also, big thank you again to Cook Unity for sponsoring this video. Their information's down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
All right, so we all know that price predictions are crazy. They're almost never right, except for when they become a prophecy. This is gonna sound absolutely crazy, because it is, but something just happened in the Bitcoin space that no one can explain. It all started thanks to this guy, Josh Mandel, who back in November 2024, when Bitcoin was $74,000, predicted that on March 14th, a day known as Pi Day, that Bitcoin would reach exactly $84,000 to the dollar. Back in November, very few people paid any attention to his prediction, but as it got closer to March 14th, things started to get a lot more interesting. By March 11th, Josh Mandel said the seemingly impossible was in play, tweeting 84K on Pi Day with reference to the song The Impossible Dream. So March 14th rolls around, I'm on Twitter. I'm seeing this guy's tweets. I'm seeing Twitter blow up because of how close his prediction is getting. There's a few hours left to go for the market close, and I know that it needs to close at exactly $84,000 by 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I look at Bitcoin's price, and it's within a couple $100. I'm thinking, there is no way that some random guy on the internet is about to predict this correctly to this degree of accuracy. But then, 8 p.m. Eastern rolls around, I refresh Twitter, and depending on the exchange people were looking at, Bitcoin finished the day at exactly $84,000. Now, some people joked, Josh either controls $10 billion of liquidity or he speaks to angels. But that's not the crazy part. It's entertaining, and we'll find out if it comes true in the next few years, but at least for now, I'm staying diversified and I'm not putting all my eggs into one basket, no matter how much I love that basket. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you back here next week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for checking in. I definitely appreciate you being here. As you can see, I'm growing. Please do me the favor, like, subscribe, help me get to 20. I want to get to 20. Let's do this thing. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. Goodbye. See you next time.